Hello everybody, welcome to your channel Weekly Wisdom for the week of June 30th, 2025. So this week our message comes from the energy of the gorillas. So leading up to this week, I kept seeing this image in my mind of like the silhouette of a gorilla in Africa, like gazing at the sunset. So it was this beautiful imagery. And I have to say, like, gorilla energy is not one that feels, or typically is one that I would find super inviting. So I was so curious and kind of intrigued at the request for the gorillas to come forward. So their message for this week is really acknowledging that this year of 2025, in numerology, we're in a 9-year. And 9 is all about ending of cycles, bringing all that doesn't work for us to an end. So I'm sure you can look at perhaps your inner world, the outer world, and see like there's a tremendous amount of change. There's like a great unraveling that is happening right now. So the message from the gorillas this week is really this reminder that humanity is on the precipice of great change. And what we're seeing in the outer world is the breakdown of illusion. So we're seeing all of these ways of being and structures that may not have been operating in truth or no longer is in alignment with humanity moving forward. So we're seeing like this great unraveling and crumbling of illusion. And then there's this big energy of Africa coming forward. And what the gorillas were showing me, if we look at like the energy of Africa, it is deeply rooted in creation. And there's a lot of beauty, like when I think of like the nature and the animals and everything that exists in Africa, it's like this beautiful foundational energy of creation. What's also there is a really hard, sometimes brutal energy as well. You know, if we look at the way the animals exist in nature there, it really is survival of the fittest. So we have these two energies coming forward, but here the energy is really like we have the choice to anchor in to this creation energy, this energy of great change. So really settling into this deep feeling of Africa energy of really like what is the change that we want to see within ourselves and the outer world, and really sitting in that co-creative manifestation process of bringing about this change. And the gorillas were really encouraging us to not fear this energy, that this is a very needed energy right now and a very necessary energy. What is important is how we use it. So their message was also to use your voice wisely. So when we think of gorillas, we think of these big, large, imposing bodies. They're huge physically, but also energetically, there's a massive presence there. So they're saying, you know, as we walk through change, we have the ability to use our energy where we can just be beating our chest and roaring and really putting out this, well, it's warrior energy for sure, but it's like, how do you want to use that warrior energy? So we can beat our chest and engage in a lot of battles, maybe create conflict. And that is absolutely one way to bring change into our life. And I didn't feel any judgment around that. It's not that that's wrong, but it's really about like, what is the experience that you're going to want to have? The other way that we can use gorilla energy is to sit fully in our power, to really feel into like, what is the energy, not only that I want to see reflected back to me in this life and on this planet, but how do I want to use my power? So we can step into more of the peaceful spiritual warrior where your presence alone evokes change. Like when you really sit in the truth of who you are and live in your own truth and are the embodiment of how you would like to see humanity moving forward, that is incredibly powerful. Your energy field alone has the ability to co-create and to shift all that is around you. So we can use gorilla energy either way, and it's totally up to you to decide. And maybe sometimes you're one way and you may have to occasionally dip into the other, but it's really up to you. And the gorillas, to wind this up, they're saying that you have unrealized power within this world. And it's really important for us to set aside time to gaze into the future, to dream into the future, and to really realize, like, again, it was this imagery of a gorilla gazing into the sunset of what in your life needs the sun to set on it. So really thinking of like in the second half of this year, like, are there ways of being that no longer serve you that perhaps you really need to let go? Or, you know, Maybe it's attachments to certain locations or whatnot, but really thinking about what in my life do I need to allow the sun to set on. Anyway, I'd love to hear any feedback, and I wish you guys a beautiful week ahead with gorilla energy. It's powerful, it's strong, it's deeply wise, and I hope you guys use it for all it's worth.